What's good, Chiefs Kingdom? Welcome back to the channel. The Kansas City Chiefs are the NFL's gold standard, riding Patrick Mahomes' brilliance to 3 Super Bowl wins, 5 straight AFC championships, and a 15-2 season in 2024, despite that 40-22 Super Bowl 59 loss to the Eagles. Mahomes is a once-in-a-generation QB, but even legends don't play forever. Today, we're tackling the Chiefs' quarterback dilemma. What happens in the post-Mahomes era? We'll recap his legacy, the challenges of replacing him, potential solutions, and how Kansas City can build for the future. Can the Chiefs stay a dynasty without number 15? Hit that like button, smash subscribe, and let's dive into the future of the Chiefs. Mahomes has redefined the Chiefs and the NFL, but age and wear will eventually catch up. With plus 600 Super Bowl odds for 2025, per ESPN BET, Kansas City's in win-now mode, but the clock's ticking. Let's start with the man himself. Patrick Mahomes is the gold standard for modern QBs. At 29, his resume is unreal, per ESPN stats. Achievements: 2 NFL MVPs, 2018, 2022, 3 Super Bowl MVPs, LIV, LVII, LVIII, 291 TD passes, and a 17-3 playoff record. In 2024, he threw for 3,928 yards, 26 TDs, and 307 rushing yards despite 47 sacks, per Fox Sports. His 0.48 EPA per play led the NFL, per Next Gen Stats. Franchise impact: Mahomes fueled 9 straight AFC West titles and 5 Super Bowl trips since 2018, per Pro Football Reference. His $450 million contract, restructured to free $49.4 million, built a roster with Travis Kelce, 823 yards, and Chris Jones, 8.5 sacks, per Spotrac. The Chiefs' 72.5% win rate with Mahomes, 103-39, dwarfs their pre-2018 50.7%, per StatMuse. X's at Mahomes calls him the reason Arrowhead's a fortress. NFL Revolution: Mahomes' no-look passes, sidearm throws, and 12.3% extended dropbacks, per ESPN stats, inspired QBs like Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels, per The Athletic. His 18.4% audible rate and RPO mastery, 7 TDs in 2024, per PFF, popularized spread offenses league-wide, with teams like the Texans mimicking Reid's 33.9% 12 personnel sets, per CBS Sports. Mahomes isn't just a player, he's a paradigm shift, making the post-Mahomes era a daunting prospect. Even Mahomes, now 29, isn't immune to time. His 2024 season, 11 INTs, 7.1 yards per attempt, lowest as a starter, showed slight cracks, per The Athletic, despite a 67.5% completion rate. Inevitable decline: QBs peak around 28-32, per PFF. Tom Brady played until 45, but Mahomes' dual-threat style, 307 rushing yards, 47 sacks in 2024, risks wear, per ESPN stats. His 2023 ankle injury and 2024's 11.4 QBR in Super Bowl 59 hint at vulnerability, per CBS Sports. By 2031, when his $450 million deal ends, he'll be 35, likely past his prime, per Spotrac. Dependence on Mahomes: the Chiefs' 72.5% offensive yards come from Mahomes, per ESPN stats, with number 700-yard receiver in 2024, per The Athletic. His 27-26 record when trailing in the fourth quarter, best ever, masks roster flaws, like a 25.6% pressure rate, per PFF. Without him, the offense could dip to 300 yards per game, per ESPN projections. X's at Mark Henry Jr. NFL warns, no Mahomes, no dynasty. Timeline and urgency: Mahomes' deal runs through 2031, but planning starts now. Brady's Patriots and Manning's Colts struggled post-QB, combined 41.7% win rate, per StatMuse. The Chiefs, with $12 million cap space in 2025, per Arrowhead Pride, need a successor by 2029-2030 to avoid a rebuild, per SI's Connor Orr. The post-Mahomes void is massive, demanding proactive steps to stay elite. Replacing Mahomes is like replacing the sun, but the Chiefs have options: draft a high-profile prospect, sign a veteran, or develop a current player. Let's weigh them. High-profile draft pick. Pros: a top 10 pick in 2028-2030 could yield a QB like Arch Manning or Quinn Ewers, with Mahomes mentoring them, per The Athletic. The Chiefs' 2021 trade-up for Trey Lance failed, shows Veach's aggression, per ESPN. A rookie's $10 million cap hit, per Spotrac, preserves funds for stars like Xavier Worthy. Cons: drafting QBs is risky. 50% of first-round QBs bust, per PFF. Trading picks could gut depth, and a rookie learning Reed's complex playbook, 18.4% audibles, takes time, per Chiefs.com. X's at KC Sports Network says, drafting high means we're not contending. Veteran free agent. Pros: a 2030 free agent like Dak Prescott, 35, for 1,449 yards in 2024, or a trade for Justin Fields, 29 then, brings experience, per ESPN stats. Veterans adapt faster to Nagy's RPO scheme, minimizing chemistry disruption, per Arrowhead Pride. Cost: $30 to $40 million annually, per Spotrac. Cons: vets like Prescott carry high cap hits, squeezing Kelsey's successor or Jones' deal, per Spotrac. Fields' 62.4% completion rate pales next to Mahomes' 67.5%, risking a drop-off, per PFF. At Jacob71 on X doubts any vet matching Mahomes' magic. Develop current player. Pros: Carson Wentz, the current backup, has 22,292 career yards and a 2017 Pro Bowl, per ESPN stats. At 32, he's a bridge option, learning Reed system since 2024, per Chiefs.com. Undrafted rookie Chris Oladekin's mobility, 4.6 40-yard dash, offers upside, per Arrowhead Pride. Low cost, $2 to $5 million combined, preserves cap space, per Spotrac. Cons: Wentz's 5.8% sack rate and 3-2 record in 2024 starts, Rams, lack Mahomes' 0.48 EPA per play, per PFF. Oladekin's 0 NFL snaps scream inexperience, per ESPN. At HBT Chiefs calls Wentz a stopgap, not a future. Best approach: draft a QB in 2028 to 2029 to sit behind Mahomes for 2 to 3 years, balancing cost and upside. A seamless transition, like Green Bay's Rodgers to Love model, keeps the Chiefs' 79.2% playoff odds intact, per ESPN. A post-Mahomes Chiefs need more than a QB. They need a robust ecosystem to stay contenders. Supporting cast. O-line: Creed Humphrey, 1.2% pressure rate, and Trey Smith, 79.8 PFF grade, are locked through 2027, per Spotrac, but Josh Simmons, rookie LT, and Mike Caliendo LG, must develop to cut 2024's 47 sacks, per ESPN stats. Drafting a tackle in 2026 ensures depth, per Arrowhead Pride. Receivers: Worthy, 638 yards, 23, and Rice, 24 catches pre-injury, 24, are long-term WR1-2, per The Athletic. Extending Worthy past 2028 and drafting a slot WR in 2027 replaces Kelsey's role, per PFF. Defense: Trent McDuffie, 3 INTs, 24, and Nick Bolton, 106 tackles, 26, anchor a fourth-ranked scoring defense, 19.2 points, per Pro Football Reference. Re-signing Chris Jones, 31, or drafting a DT in 2026 maintains 49 sacks, per Chiefs.com. Coaching staff: Reed, 66, may retire by 2030, but Matt Nagy's OC experience, 44.7% red zone TD rate, and Steve Spagnuolo's defensive prowess, 58.7% zone coverage, are succession assets, per ESPN stats. Hiring a QB-friendly OC like Shane Waldron in 2030 ensures continuity, per SI. Reed told Chiefs.com, "We're building a system, not just a player." Long-term vision: Veach's $12 million cap space in 2025, per Arrowhead Pride, prioritizes youth, Worthy, Rice, Simmons, while Mahomes restructures fund stars, per Spotrac. Trading picks for a QB in 2028 to 2029, per ESPN, and drafting linemen/receivers yearly keeps the roster top 10 through 2035, projecting 10 to 7 seasons, per PFF. This blueprint, young talent, smart drafts, and coaching depth, sets Kansas City up for a soft landing. The post-Mahomes era is a tightrope. Challenges: a rookie QB's learning curve, Kelsey's retirement, 35, 8.5 yards per catch, and Jones' age, 31, could drop the Chiefs to 8 to 9 in 2031, per SI's Connor Orr. The AFC's depth, Bills, Ravens, Bengals, demands perfection, per Fox Sports. Opportunities: Worthy and Rice's prime, McDuffie's all-pro peak, and Reed's system could propel a new QB to 4,000 yards, per The Athletic. A successful rebuild, think Steelers post-Roethlisberger, yields 10-7 and playoff berths, per ESPN BET. The Chiefs' history of resilience, 66.7% win rate post-playoff losses, suggests they can pivot, per StatMuse. A drafted QB mentored by Mahomes, backed by a top 10 O-line and defense, could spark another dynasty by 2035, with a 25% chance of a Super Bowl in the 2030s, per PFF projections. X's at Truman Chief dreams of a new QB carrying the torch, while at Jeff Schwartz fears a 5-year rebuild if we miss the pick. Chiefs Kingdom, the future's uncertain but thrilling. Mahomes' legacy sets a high bar, but Veach's planning and Arrowhead's magic could keep KC elite. What's your take? Who's the next QB to lead the Chiefs? Drop your predictions in the comments, hit that notification bell, and check our Chiefs 2025 roster breakdown linked below. Stay loud. Subscribe, like, comment, #Chiefs Kingdom. Yo, Chiefs Kingdom, welcome back to the channel. The Kansas City Chiefs are charging into 2025 after a 15-2 season, 3 straight AFC titles, and a gut-punch 40-22 Super Bowl 59 loss to the Eagles. With Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, and a revamped offense, they're still the NFL's benchmark, rocking plus 600 Super Bowl odds, per ESPN BET. But 2024's red zone struggles and O-line woes sparked a new offensive scheme for 2025, blending Reid's genius with fresh twists. Today, we're breaking down this new attack, key personnel changes, play-calling shifts, and how it could propel Kansas City to Super Bowl 60. Hit that like button, smash subscribe, and let's dive into the Chiefs' 2025 offensive overhaul. The Chiefs' 2024 offense ranked 9th in yards, 351.2 per game, but stumbled in the red zone, 38.9% TD rate, 29th, with 47 sacks exposing a shaky line, per The Athletic. Reid and OC Matt Nagy are shaking things up. Let's unpack the new era. The Chiefs aren't resting on their 3 Super Bowl rings. After Super Bowl LIX's 25.6% pressure rate and 23 first-half yards, per CBS Sports, they're evolving their offense to stay ahead. New offensive scheme, Reid's tweaking his spread offense, emphasizing a run-heavy approach, up to 30% run plays from 27.8%, more play action, 22.4% of dropbacks, and 12 personnel sets, 33.9% of snaps, per PFF. The goal, boost the 44.7% red zone TD rate to 50% and cut Mahomes' 11 INTs, per ESPN stats. Coaching continuity, not change. There's no new OC, Nagy's back for year 2, refining his no turnovers, smart field position philosophy, per Chiefs.com. His 2024 push for discipline lifted red zone TDs to 44.7% by season's end, per FDN Fantasy. Nagy told SI, "We're balancing Mahomes' magic with efficiency, focusing on quick reads and misdirection," per The Athletic. Reid's evolution, Reid's offense, rooted in West Coast principles, has shifted from deep shots, 26.1% deep ball completion rate in 2024, to a ground-and-pound base, per next-gen stats. His 18.4% audible rate and RPO mastery, 7 TDs, now lean on Pacheco's 4.7 yards per carry and Kelsey's underneath routes, per ESPN stats. X's at KC Sports Network calls it Reid reinventing the wheel again. This scheme aims to exploit defenses' 58.7% zone coverage, per PFF, and counter aggressive fronts like Philly's. The Chiefs roster got a facelift to fit the new scheme, but Mahomes remains the cornerstone. No new quarterback. Mahomes, 29, is locked in through 2031, with 3,928 yards, 26 TDs, and 307 rushing yards in 2024, per Fox Sports. His 0.48 EPA per play, per next-gen stats, thrives in Nagy's quick-strike system. Backup Carson Wentz, 5.8% sack rate, stays as insurance, per ESPN stats, but Mahomes is the emerging receivers, Xavier Worthy, 638 yards, 5 TDs, and Rashee Rice, 24 catches pre-injury, are the young core, both 24, per ESPN. Worthy's 4.21 speed and Rice's 7.2 yards after catch fit Nagy's play action, per PFF. Marquise Brown, $11 million re-sign, and rookie Jalen Royals, 1,193 college yards, add depth, per Chiefs.com, but Rice's potential 2 to 4 game suspension, 2024 car crash, is a hiccup, per Arrowhead Pride. X's at Jacobs 71C's Worthy hitting 1,000 yards. Rebuilt offensive line. The 47-sack disaster prompted LT Josh Simmons, 0.7% college pressure rate, and LG Jalen Moore, $30 million, 5.8% pressure rate, per Motorcycle Sports net. Creed Humphrey, 1.2% pressure rate. Trey Smith, franchise tagged, 79.8 PFF grade, and Jawan Taylor, 72.6 PFF grade, return, projecting 35 sacks, per ESPN. Mike Caliendo battles rookie Hunter Nerzad at LG, with Caliendo's 74.6 PFF grade favored, per The Athletic. At Matt Connor AA notes Simmons' camp reps as promising. These changes, youthful WRs, a fortified line, align with Nagy's balanced vision, per Kansascity.com. The new scheme is a calculated evolution, tailored to the roster and NFL trends. Here's the breakdown. Complementing personnel, Pacheco's 1,149 yards and 65.4% success rate versus stacked boxes, per Next Gen Stats, power a 30% run game, opening play action from Mahomes 7.2 yards after catch, per PFF. Worthy and Rice exploit lighter boxes, while Kelsey, 823 yards, and Noah Gray, 29 catches, thrive in 12 personnel, targeting 1,200 combined T yards, per Chiefs.com. Simmons and Moore's protection, 5% pressure rate, gives Mahomes 2.8 seconds to throw, per ESPN stats. Play calling and formations, Nagy's upping misdirection, jet motion, direct snaps to Kelsey, and RPOs, 12.1% of plays, per The Athletic. Expect 40% shotgun snaps with pre-snap motion, up from 33.4%, to confuse zone-heavy defenses, 58.7%, per ESPN stats. New plays include inverted wishbone, 15.2% of snaps, and shovel passes, like Pacheco's 14-yard TD versus Tampa Bay, per The Ringer. Reed told Chiefs.com, "We're forcing defenses to pick their poison." Challenges and opportunities. Challenges: O-line youth, Simmons, Caliendo, risks a 6.5% sack rate, per ESPN stats. Rice's suspension and Kadarius Toney's 4 drops could stall red zone drives, per Arrowhead Pride. The Chiefs' 61 penalties in 2023, per TheAthletic.com, must drop to avoid drive killers. Opportunities: Worthy's speed and Kelsey's routes could lift the 351.2 yards per game to 370, per PFF. A 50% red zone TD rate, per ESPN projections, exploits shorter fields from the NFL's new kickoff rule, 35-yard touchbacks, per AP News. At Read Option KC predicts a top 3 offense by Week 8. The scheme maximizes Mahomes' brain and the roster's athleticism but demands execution. The new scheme could redefine the Chiefs' offense and their 2025 outlook. Improved efficiency, a 50% red zone TD rate, up from 38.9%, could add 3 to 6 points per game, per PFF, critical in 11 one-score wins in 2024, per StatMuse. Cutting sacks to 35 and boosting run plays to 30% should drop Mahomes' 11 INTs to 8, per ESPN stats. The offense could hit 370 yards per game and a top 5 EPA per play, per The Athletic, rivaling 2018's 425.6 yards. Super Bowl chances. The Chiefs plus 600 odds and 11.5 win total, per ESPN BET, reflect a 79.2% playoff chance, per PFF. The scheme's balance, 1,500 rushing yards, 4,200 passing, matches up with the Eagles, plus 600, and Ravens, plus 700, per Fox Sports. But O-line inexperience and a tough schedule, Ravens, Lions, cap their Super Bowl odds at 25%, per SI's Connor or X's at Truman Chiefs sees an AFC championship run. Future of the offense. Worthy and Rice, both under 25, ensure a high ceiling through 2030, per The Athletic. Kelsey's 2025 return, age 35, buys time to develop Jake Briningstool, per Chiefs.com. Simmons and Humphrey lock the line long-term, projecting a top 10 offense for 5 years, per ESPN stats. The scheme sets Kansas City up for now and later, assuming discipline improves. Let's wrap it up, Chiefs Kingdom. The 2025 offensive scheme, run-heavy, misdirection-packed, and T-centric, is Reed and Nagy's answer to 2024's red zone flops and 47 sacks. It maximizes Mahomes' 0.48 EPA per play, Pacheco's 1,149 yards, and Worthy's speed, projecting 370 yards per game and a 50% red zone TD rate per PFF. Key takeaways. Simmons and Moore must gel to protect Mahomes, cutting sacks to 35, per ESPN stats. Worthy and Rice could combine for 1,800 yards, but Rice's suspension is a risk, per Arrowhead Pride. The scheme's versatility counters zone-heavy defenses, but penalties, 61 in 2023, need to drop, per theathletic.com. Predictions. I'm calling 11-6, a 10th straight AFC West title, minus 125 odds, and an AFC Championship appearance, per ESPN BET. The Chiefs could hit 4,200 passing yards and 1,500 rushing, but the Ravens or Eagles might edge them in a 25% Super Bowl shot, per Fox Sports. If the O-line holds and red zone TDs climb, they're back in the Super Bowl hunt. Chiefs Kingdom, what's your vibe on the new offense? Can Mahomes and Reed make it unstoppable? Drop your predictions in the comments, hit that notification bell, and check our Chiefs roster breakdown linked below. Stay loud. Subscribe, like, comment, hashtag Chiefs Kingdom. What's good, Chiefs Kingdom? Welcome back to the channel. The Kansas City Chiefs are charging into 2025 after a 15-2 season, 3 straight AFC titles, and a crushing 40-22 Super Bowl 59 loss to the Eagles. With Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, and a plus 600 Super Bowl odds, per ESPN BET, they're still the AFC's gold standard. But a salary cap storm is brewing, and bold roster moves are coming. Today, we're diving into the Chiefs' 2025 cap crunch, predicting blockbuster trades, tough veteran calls. Kansas City survive the storm and chase Super Bowl 60? Hit that like button, smash subscribe, and let's break it down. The Chiefs' 2024 roster delivered a 9th straight AFC West crown, but number 700-yard receiver and a 25.6% pressure rate exposed cracks, per The Athletic. With $8.7 million in usable cap space, per A to Z Sports, tough choices loom. Let's start with the cap mess. The Chiefs' cap situation is a ticking time bomb, with star contracts eating up space and key players needing deals. Mahomes' monster deal. Patrick Mahomes' $450 million contract carries a $66.2 million cap hit in 2025, per Spotrac, eating 26% of the $255.4 million cap, per @_ML Football on X. Converting his roster bonus to a signing bonus could free $25.8 million, per @Spotrac. But it's a band-aid for future years. Key contracts straining finances. Chris Jones, $34.8 million cap hit, Travis Kelce, $19.8 million, and Jawan Taylor, $27.3 million, account for 32% of the cap, per @Frums. Orlando Brown Jr. hasn't been with the Chiefs since 2022, playing for Cincinnati in 2024, per ESPN stats. Jones' deal ends in 2025, and Kelce's age 35 season sparks extension talks, per Kansascity.com. Tough decisions ahead. With only $8.7 million in usable cap after draft costs, per A to Z Sports, the Chiefs face cuts or trades. GM Brett Veach must prioritize Mahomes' protection and Jones' retention while managing Kelce's $20 million hit, per Spotrac. Letting go of depth players like Sky Moore or Wanya Morris could save $2 to $3 million each, per Arrowhead Pride, but risks roster holes. The cap crunch forces Veach to get creative, setting up bold roster shakes. To navigate the cap and stay elite, the Chiefs will make gutsy moves. Here's what's coming. Trading a key offensive player, Kadarius Toney, not Juju Smith-Schuster, is the trade candidate. Toney's $2.5 million cap hit, 171 yards, and 4 drops in 2024 make him expendable, per ESPN stats. Trading him to a WR-needy team like the Giants for a 2026 fifth-round pick saves $2 million and adds draft capital, per PFF. Smith-Schuster, re-signed for $2 million, offers veteran reliability, 494 career yards, per Chiefs.com. X's at KC Sports Network says, Toney's flashes don't outweigh his drops. Re-signing Chris Jones long-term. Jones, 31, is a must-keep with 8.5 sacks and 28 pressures in 2024, per CBS Sports. A 3-year, $75 million extension with a $15 million signing bonus lowers his 2025 cap hit from $34.8 million to $22 million, spreading costs, per Spotrac. This locks in a top 5 DT through 2028 per PFF, pairing him with rookie Omar Normanlott. At Matt Connor AA on X calls it a no-brainer for Spags' defense. Tough call on Kelce. At 35, Kelce's 823 yards and 8.5 yards per catch in 2024 were career lows, fueling retirement buzz, per Marca. Veach predicts a different role with fewer targets, 98 in 2024, but more impact, per Yahoo Sports. A one-year, $12 million extension with $8 million guaranteed, per the U.S. Sun, keeps Kelce while grooming Noah Gray, 29 catches, and UDFA Jake Briningstool, per Sporting News. Cutting Kelce saves $19.8 million but guts chemistry, so a restructured deal is likely, per at Jacobs 71. These moves, trading Toney, extending Jones, restructuring Kelce, free $15 to $20 million, per Spotrac, but reshape the roster. The cap-driven roster tweaks could dent the Chiefs' offense, ranked 15th in scoring, 23.2 points per game, in 2024, per Kansascity.com. Loss of weapons. Trading Toney reduces WR depth, with Xavier Worthy, 638 yards, Rashee Rice, 24 catches pre-injury, and Marquise Brown, 141 yards in 5 games, carrying the load, per ESPN stats. Rice's potential 2 to 4 game suspension, 2024 car crash, per Arrowhead Pride, and Kelce's reduced role could drop Mahomes 3,928 yards to 3,800, per PFF. The offense may lean on 12 personnel sets, 33.9% of snaps, per ESPN stats. Youth steps up. Worthy, 23, and Rice, 24, must hit 1,800 combined yards, with Worthy's 4.21 speed, 157 yards in Super Bowl 59, leading, per Kansascity.com. Rookie Jalen Royals, 1,193 college yards, could add 300 yards as WR4, per SI. Isaiah Pacheco, 1,149 yards, and Elijah Mitchell, 4.7 yards per carry, drive a 1,500-yard run game, per Chiefs.com. At Read Option KC says, Worthy's the new WR1. Defensive vulnerability, a dip in offensive output, projected 351.2 yards per game, per PFF, puts pressure on Steve Spagnuolo's defense. A 38.9% red zone TD rate, 29th, must hit 50% to avoid long drives, per The Athletic, forcing the 4th-ranked scoring defense, 19.2 points, to play more snaps, per Pro Football Reference. The offense could stutter early, relying on Mahomes' 0.48 EPA per play to stay top 10, per Next Gen Stats. Spagnuolo's defense is a powerhouse but has gaps that cap constraints could worsen. Formidable front, Chris Jones, 8.5 sacks, George Karlaftis, 8 sacks, and Charles Omenihu, post-injury boost, anchor a second-ranked sack unit, 49, per Pro Football Reference. Second-rounder Omar Normanlott and third-rounder Ashton Gill-Latte add depth, per Kansascity.com, projecting 50 sacks, per ESPN stats. At RealMN Chiefs fan calls Jones the heart of the D. Secondary concerns, losing L'Jarius Sneed, 14 passes defended, and Justin Reed-Hurts, with a 6.7 yards per attempt allowed, per PFF. Trent McDuffie's 3 INTs and 5.9% completion rate allowed are elite, but Christian Fulton and rookie Noel Williams are unproven, per Chiefs.com. Drafting a CB like Notre Dame's Benjamin Morrison in 2026 or signing a $5 million free agent like Carlton Davis, per Spotrac, is critical. At HBT Chiefs worries, secondary's a weak link versus Herbert. Cap pressure, with Jones' extension, only $3 to $5 million remains for secondary help, per A to Z Sports. The defense must generate turnovers, McDuffie's 5 projected INTs, to offset offensive dips, per PFF, or the front is a strength, but the secondary needs a budget-friendly fix to stay top 5. The Chiefs face a pivotal 2025, balancing cap woes with championship dreams. Navigating the cap, freeing $15 to $20 million via Toney's trade, Jones' extension, and Kelce's restructure, per Spotrac, keeps the core intact. UDFA signings like OTESA Pole and WR Elijah Badger, per SI, add cheap depth. Veach's cap wizardry, $49.4 M freed via Mahomes restructure, gives flexibility, per Spotrac. Developing young talent, Worthy and Rice, both under 25, Simmons, 0.7% pressure rate, and Normanlott ensure a high ceiling, per ESPN. Pacheco's 1,300-yard potential and Royals' return skills replace veterans, per Chiefs.com. The 2025 draft class earned a B+ from CBS Sports' Pete Prisco, signaling upside, per CBSSports.com. Resilience and adaptability. Reed 66.7% win rate post-playoff losses and Mahomes' 17-3 playoff record, per StatMuse, prove clutch. A projected 11-6 record, 10th straight AFC West title, minus 125 odds, and 79.2% playoff chance, per ESPN BET, keep them elite. But a tough schedule, Ravens, Eagles, and secondary depth cap Super Bowl odds at 25%, per Fox Sports. Prediction: the Chiefs go 11-6, reach the AFC Championship, but fall to the Ravens. Mahomes hits 4,000 yards, Worthy breaks 1,000, and Jones nabs 10 sacks, but secondary leaks and Rice's suspension cost them. Long-term, Youth and Reed system project 10-7 seasons through 2030, per PFF. Chiefs Kingdom, can KC weather the cap storm and chase that fourth ring? Who's your breakout star? Drop your predictions in the comments, hit that notification bell, and check our Chiefs offensive scheme breakdown linked below. Stay loud. Subscribe, like, comment, hashtag Chiefs Kingdom. Yo, Chiefs Kingdom, welcome back to the channel. The Kansas City Chiefs are rolling into 2025 with a 15-2 record, 3 straight AFC titles, and plus 600 Super Bowl odds, per ESPN BET, despite that 40-22 Super Bowl 59 loss to the Eagles. Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid are the NFL's gold standard, but every year, an undrafted free agent, UDFA, steals the show. In 2024, it was Carson Steele. Now, meet the 2025 UDFA gem, Elijah Badger. Today, we're diving into Badger's background, why he's a perfect fit for KC's needs, his preseason buzz, and how he could spark the Chiefs' offense. Can this rookie become a star? Hit that like button, smash subscribe, and let's uncover the Chiefs' hidden gem. The Chiefs' 2024 offense ranked 9th in yards, 351.2 per game, but tanked in the red zone, 38.9% TD rate, 29th, per The Athletic. With only $8.7 million in 2025 cap space, per A to Z Sports, UDFAs like Badger are gold. Let's meet the man. Elijah Badger, a 6 feet 2 inches, 185-pound wide receiver from Florida, is the Chiefs' UDFA with breakout potential, signed post-2025 draft with a $30,000 signing bonus, per Arrowhead Pride. Background and college stats. A Sacramento native, Badger led Arizona State with 1,736 yards over 2022 to 2023, then transferred to Florida, topping the Gators with 806 yards and 3 TDs on 43 catches in 2024, per Chiefs.com. His 18.7 yards per catch ranked 12th in the SEC, with 5 catches of 50-plus yards, per ESPN Stats. He ran a 4.39 40-yard dash at Florida's Pro Day, per PFF. Why undrafted? Badger's route tree was limited, mostly go routes and slants, lacking polish, per The Athletic. Inconsistent hands, 4 drops on 178 career targets, and a crowded WR draft class, Xavier Restrepo, Harold Fannin Jr., pushed him out, per NFL.com. His 5 feet 10 inches frame raised size concerns for contested catches, per B/R's Corey Giddings. Strengths. Badger's 4.39 speed and 20.1 yards per catch career average scream deep threat, per PFF. His 21.8 miles per hour max speed, top 10 in CFB, fits Reed's RPO-heavy scheme, per Next Gen Stats. Special teams upside, 12 kickoff returns, 26.3 yards average, and 84% slot snaps add versatility, per Chiefs.com. X's at Truman Chief calls him a worthy clone with better hands. Badger's speed and slot skills make him a diamond in the rough, but can he fill KC's gaps? Section 2, the Chiefs' needs, 230. Clips of Rice's injury, Tony's drops, O-line struggles. The Chiefs' 2024 roster showed cracks, and Badger's skill set could plug key holes. Position needs and depth chart concerns, with 5 WRs hitting free agency, Hopkins, Smith-Schuster, Watson, Hardman, Tony, only Xavier Worthy, Rashee Rice, and Marquise Brown are locked in, per USAtoday.com. Rice's potential 2 to 4 game suspension, 2024 car crash, and Tony's trade rumors, 171 yards, 4 drops, thin the room, per ESPN Stats. The Chiefs need a WR45 with speed and special teams value, per Arrowhead Pride. How Badger fits. Badger's 4.39 speed and slot experience align with Reed's 33.9% 12 personnel and 12.1% RPO plays, per PFF. He can stretch defenses, 18.7 yards per catch, easing pressure on Worthy, 638 yards, per Chiefs.com. His 26.3-yard kickoff returns address a 22.8-yard average, 20th, per Pro Football Reference. As WR4 behind Worthy, Rice, and Brown, he'd see 20 to 30 snaps per game, per The Athletic. Analyst excitement. The Athletic's Dane Brugler ranks Badger a top 10 UDFA, praising his catch-point talent and athleticism. B/R's Brandon Thorne compares him to a young Tyreek Hill for speed and YAC, 7.2 yards after catch, though rawer, per BleacherReport.com. Chief scout Greg Castillo told SI, Badger's a playmaker who'll grow in Reed's system. X's at KC Sports Network hypes his explosive upside. Badger's speed and versatility scream Chiefs, but can he prove it on the field? Badger turned heads at the Chiefs rookie minicamp, May 3 to 5, 2025, showing he's more than a camp body. Preseason performance. In minicamp, Badger caught 8 of 9 targets for 112 yards, including a 52-yard TD on a dash shown in 7-on-7 drills, and he averaged 28.1 yards on 5 kickoff returns, per Kansascity.com. Reed praised his quick feet and fearlessness, per Chiefs.com. Against DBs like Noel Williams, he won 70% of 1-on-1s, per SI. Roster chances. The Chiefs' WR room is crowded. Worthy, Rice, Brown, Smith-Schuster, and rookie Jalen Royals, 1,193 college yards, per ESPN. Badger competes with Royals and Sky Moore, 135 yards, cut candidate, 4 WR 4 and 5, per Spotrac. His special teams edge, 17 career tackles, gives him a 65% roster shot, per PFF, likely as a 53-man bubble or practice squad lock. X's at Matt Connor AA sees him edging more for special teams. Potential impact. Badger could add 300 to 400 receiving yards as WR4, with 10 to 15 kickoff returns at 25-plus yards, per ESPN projections. His speed forces defenses to adjust, boosting Mahomes' 3,928-yard efficiency, 0.48 EPA per play, per next-gen stats. Long-term, he's a WR3 candidate by 2027 if Rice departs, per The Athletic. Badger's minicamp splash suggests he's ready to contribute, but how does he fit Reed's offense? The Chiefs' offense is elite, but has flaws Badger could address. Offensive strengths and weaknesses. Mahomes' 67.5% completion rate and 17-3 playoff record anchor a top 10 attack, 351.2 yards per game, per Pro Football Reference. Isaiah Pacheco, 1,149 yards, and Travis Kelce, 823 yards, shine, but a 38.9% red zone TD rate, 29th, and 47 sacks, 25.6% pressure rate, hurt, per The Athletic. Number 700-yard WR and Rice's suspension risk depth, per ESPN stats. Badger's fit in the playbook. Reed's 12.1% RPO and 40% shotgun snaps with motion suit Badger's slot speed, 84% slot snaps, per PFF. He can run jet sweeps, 5 college carries, 62 yards, screens, and go routes, stretching defenses like Hill did, per Chiefs.com. Nagy's misdirection, 15.2% inverted wishbone, could use Badger on shovel passes, projecting 20 to 25 touches, per The Ringer. Contributions to success. Badger's 18.7 yards per catch could lift the red zone TD rate to 50%, adding 3 to 6 points per game, per PFF. His speed creates mismatches, boosting Worthy and Rice's YAC, 7.2 combined, per ESPN stats. Kickoff returns, 26.3 yards average, improve field position, critical for a 15th-ranked scoring offense, 23.2 points, per Kansascity.com. Badger's versatility could unlock Reed's playbook, but what's his ceiling? Badger's rookie year is just the start, with a path to stardom if he grows. Rookie season expectations. Badger's learning curve, polishing routes, mastering Reed's 18.4% audible rate, means 300 to 400 yards and 10 to 15 returns, per SI. Adapting to NFL physicality, 5 feet 10 inches frame, and Mahomes' tempo is key, but his 4.39 speed ensures 20 to 30 snaps per game, per The Athletic. A 38.9% red zone boost could add 1 to 2 wins, per PFF. Developing into a key player, Badger's work ethic, Senior Bowl standout, and Reed's coaching, 44.7% red zone TD jump in 2024, fuel growth, per Chiefs.com. Learning from Kelsey's route running and Mahomes' pre-snap reads could make him a WR3 by 2026, per Arrowhead Pride. His 84% slot snaps fit Nagy's 33.9% 12 personnel, projecting 600 to 800 yards in year 2, per ESPN. Future star potential. Badger's 21.8 miles per hour speed and 7.2 YAC mirror Young Hill or Brandon Cooks, per Next Gen Stats. If he refines routes and cuts drops, 4 in 2024, he's a 1,000-yard WR2 by 2028, per BR. His special teams base ensures early reps, and a weak 2026 WR free agent class could cement his role, per Spotrac. X's at Reed Option KC dreams of Badger as the next chief speed demon. Badger's upside is sky high, potentially joining Worthy and Rice as a core piece. Chiefs Kingdom, Elijah Badger is the UDFA gem to watch in 2025. His 4.39 speed, 18.7 yards per catch, and special teams hustle could add 300 to 400 yards and spark a 50% red zone TD rate, per PFF. Key takeaways. He fills WR4 and return needs, thrives in Reed's RPO scheme, and has WR2 upside by 2028. Prediction. Badger makes the 53-man roster, nabs 350 yards, 15 returns, and a TD, helping KC go 11-6 and reach the AFC Championship, per ESPN BET. Can he be the next Tyreek Hill? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that notification bell, and check our Chiefs cap breakdown linked below. Stay loud. Subscribe, like, comment, hashtag Chiefs Kingdom. Yo, Chiefs Kingdom, welcome back to the channel. Patrick Mahomes is the NFL's reigning king, leading the Kansas City Chiefs to a 15-2 record in 2024, 3 straight AFC titles, and their 3rd Super Bowl win in 5 years, despite a 40-22 Super Bowl 59 loss to the Eagles. At 29, he's a 3-time Super Bowl MVP with plus 600 odds to win it all again in 2025, per ESPN BET. But with his contract looming and his legacy growing, what's next for Mahomes after the 2025 season? Today, we're diving into his 2024 dominance, contract crossroads, place in NFL history, and wild possibilities like a trade or staying put. Will Mahomes cement his GOAT status or shake up the league? Hit that like button, smash subscribe, and let's explore Mahomes' future. Mahomes' 2024 season was another masterclass, but whispers about his contract and long-term plans are growing louder. Let's start with why he's untouchable. Patrick Mahomes, at 29, is rewriting the NFL record book, per ESPN stats, and 2024 was no exception. 2024 dominance. Mahomes threw for 3,928 yards, 26 TDs, and 11 INTs, with 307 rushing yards and 2 TDs, per Fox Sports. His 0.48 EPA per play led the NFL, and his 67.5% completion rate thrived against single-high coverage, per Next Gen Stats. Despite 47 sacks, 25.6% pressure rate, he posted a 104.7 passer rating, per PFF. Chief success. Mahomes fueled a top 10 offense, 351.2 yards per game, with 17-3 playoff wins since 2018, per StatMuse. His 27-26 record when trailing in the fourth quarter, best ever, flipped games like the AFC Championship, 157 yards to Xavier Worthy, per The Athletic. Without him, the Chiefs' 72.5% offensive yards dropped to 50%, per ESPN stats. X's at MahomiesZN calls him the ultimate cheat code. Playoff run and MVP buzz. Mahomes went 3-1 in the 2024 playoffs, throwing 8 TDs and 2 INTs, with a 109.2 passer rating, per CBS Sports. His Super Bowl 59 clunker, 11.4 QBR, 6 sacks, didn't stop a third-place MVP finish, behind Lamar Jackson, per NFL.com. A 4,200-yard 2025 could lock his third MVP, per SI's Connor Orr. Mahomes' 2024 cemented his elite status, but his contract situation looms large. Mahomes' $450 million, 10-year deal, signed in 2020, is the NFL's biggest, but it doesn't expire in 2025, it runs through 2031, per Spotrac. Still, 2025 is a pivot point. Current contract. Mahomes' 2025 cap hit is $66.2 million, 26% of the $255.4 million cap, per @_ML Football on X. Restructuring in 2024 freed $49.4 million, but his $74.5 million dead cap makes cutting or trading impossible, per Spotrac. Annual escalators push his hit to $82.6 million by 2027, per ESPN's Adam Schefter. Extension potential. The Chiefs could extend Mahomes in 2026, adding years to lower his cap hit, per The Athletic. A 5-year, $350 million extension, $70 million AAV, with $200 million guaranteed, modeled on Joe Burrow's deal, could drop his 2027 hit to $50 million, per Spotrac, freeing $20 to $25 million for stars like Chris Jones. GM Brett Veach told Kansascity.com, "Pat's our guy for life," signaling a long-term commitment. X's @Jacobs71 expects a record-shattering deal by 2026. Trade or team switch. A trade is highly unlikely. Mahomes' no-trade clause and $74.5 million dead cap deter moves, per ESPN's Bill Barnwell. He's voiced loyalty to KC, saying, "I want to finish here," per Chiefs.com. A demand would require a falling out with Reed or a rebuild, neither imminent with a 79.2% playoff chance, per PFF. Only a cap crisis, projected $8.7 million space in 2025, and Kelsey's retirement could spark rumors, per A to Z Sports. Mahomes is likely locked in, but his cap hit forces tough roster choices. Mahomes' legacy is already Hall of Fame worthy, but he's chasing immortality. Current legacy. At 29, Mahomes has 2 NFL MVPs, 3 Super Bowl MVPs, 291 TD passes, and a 17-3 playoff record, per ESPN stats. His 103-39 regular season record, 72.5% win rate, and 5 Super Bowl trips in 7 years as a starter rivaled Tom Brady's early career, per StatMuse. He's the only QB with 3 Super Bowls before 30, per CBS Sports. NFL history comparison. Mahomes trails Brady, 7 rings, and Joe Montana 4, but his 0.48 EPA per play and 18.4% audible rate surpass Peyton Manning's at 29, per Next Gen Stats. His no-look passes and 12.3% extended dropbacks redefined QB play, influencing Josh Allen and Jaden Daniels, per The Athletic. SI's Peter King ranks him top 5 all-time, with a shot at number 1 by 2035. Super Bowl record potential. Brady's 7 rings are the benchmark, but Mahomes, with 3 at 29, could hit 5 to 6 by 35, per PFF projections. His 27-26 trailing record and Reed's 66.7% win rate post-playoff losses, per StatMuse, give a 25% chance per season, per Fox Sports. Winning 4 in 2025 to 2031 would tie Montana and Terry Bradshaw, per ESPN stats. X's @Truman Chief dreams of Mahomes passing Brady by 2035. Mahomes' legacy is secure, but more rings could crown him the GOAT. A Mahomes trade is a long shot, but let's play what if. If he hit the market post, 2025, who'd chase him? Potential teams. New York Giants, with $45 million in 2026 cap space, per Spotrac, and a weak QB room, Daniel Jones' 5.9% sack rate, the Giants could offer picks and Saquon Barkley, per ESPN's Bill Barnwell. Mahomes' deep ball would elevate Malik Neighbors, per PFF. Las Vegas Raiders, close to home, Texas native, with $60 million cap space and Devontae Adams, per Spotrac. Mark Davis's splashy style fits, but their O-line, 28.1% pressure rate, is a downgrade, per ESPN stats. Washington Commanders, Jaden Daniels' mentor, with $70 million cap space and Terry McLaurin, per Spotrac. Dan Quinn's defense, 19.8 points allowed, pairs well, but Mahomes would need a better line, per PFF. Fit and success. The Giants offer the best fit, big market, young WRs, and Brian Daboll's offense, similar to Reed's, projecting 4,500 yards, per The Athletic. The Raiders' AFC West rivalry and Washington's youth are hurdles, per SI. Any team would need a top 10 O-line and playmakers, per ESPN's Mina Kimes. Decision factors. Mahomes prioritizes winning, 17-3 playoff record, coaching, Reed 66.7% win rate, and family, KC roots, per Chiefs.com. A trade would hinge on a Chiefs rebuild, Unlikely with Worthy and Rice under 25, per Arrowhead Pride, or a personal clash, per at HBT Chiefs. Money's secondary. He'd demand a contender, per The Ringer. Mahomes leaving is fantasy. KC's his home, but the Giants would be the top suitor. Mahomes' future is likely in Kansas City, with big implications for the Chiefs and their fans. Staying with the Chiefs, an extension in 2026, lowering his $66.2 million cap hit to $50 million, keeps Mahomes through 2035, per Spotrac. Worthy, 638 yards, Rice, 24 catches pre-injury, and Josh Simmons, 0.7% pressure rate, ensure a top 10 offense, per PFF. Reed, 66, may retire by 2030, but Matt Nagy's 44.7% red zone TD rate offers continuity, per Chiefs.com. 11-6 projection and 79.2% playoff odds in 2025, per ESPN BET, extend to 2030 with Mahomes, per The Athletic. Impact of a departure. If Mahomes left, the Chiefs' 72.5% offensive yards would crater, projecting 8 to 9 seasons, per ESPN stats. Carson Wentz, 5.8% sack rate, or a 2028 draft pick couldn't match his 0.48 EPA per play, per PFF. Fans would riot. Arrowhead's 142-game sellout streak, per StatMuse, reflects loyalty, per at RealMN Chiefs fan. A rebuild around Worthy and McDuffie could yield 10-7 by 2032, per SI. Prediction and call to action. Mahomes signs a 5-year, $350 million extension in 2026, stays through 2035, and wins 2 more rings, hitting 5 total, per PFF projections. The Chiefs go 11-6 in 2025, reach the AFC Championship, but fall to the Ravens, 25% Super Bowl odds, per Fox Sports. He retires a Chief, top 3 all-time. Chiefs Kingdom, what's your take? Will Mahomes stay or shock the NFL? Drop your predictions in the comments, hit that notification bell, and check our Chiefs UDFA breakdown linked below. Stay loud. Subscribe, like, comment, #Chiefs Kingdom.